Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, it's Mardi Gras time again, and again, I'm not there this year. But I thought I'd try and get in the spirit of gay Christmas and watch some TV series and limited series and so forth and movies with gay characters or gay themes, which I haven't gotten around to watching yet. I have quite a list backed up. And yesterday I watched a new series I just found out about that came out last year, March 19. It was called In Their Blood. It was produced by ABC, so it's an ABC original. And it's about the gay community and the government's response to the AIDS crisis in the 80s. So it's kind of like what was that American one? The Something Heart. Damn it. I forgot the name of it. It's basically the Australian equivalent of that show, which I think was a play first. This one has a slightly theatrical element to it where it sort of has like a Greek chorus of gay people sort of moving through the scenes, singing some of the exposition, which works a lot better than you would think. And it's interesting to see. It basically covers the period from when AIDS was first sort of becoming aware of it in the gay community to sort of ending with the Grim Reaper campaign. Now, anyone who is one of my subscribers who's not from Australia may not be familiar with the Grim Reaper campaign, but it was a fairly epic AIDS campaign in the 80s. It was done in April 1987. Its first screening was on like all the networks at the same time, so there was no way to miss it. It was fairly epic. It showed a giant Grim Reaper in like a gothic stylized bowling alley, and he was rolling giant 7-foot bowling balls down an alley and knocking over groups of people like pins. And it was just a mix of people. It was men, women, children, babies, everyone. And the message was, AIDS is coming for all of us. It's coming for all of us. This can get any of you. It's out to get us. Because people weren't getting the message. They thought it was just a gay disease. And it really shocked everyone and scared everyone. And it was, looking at it now, elements of it can appear a bit comic because I think they sped up when the people get hit because it probably did look a bit too gruesome back in the day. And like the shot where the baby flies out of the mother's hands may look a bit comical now, but at the time it was absolutely terrifying. And it did shake up the country and pretty much avoided a second wave of the virus and saved probably tens of thousands of people's lives. And Australia had one of the best responses to the HIV crisis, which I didn't really realise because I assumed America had some response to it. But then when you find out how bad it was in America, where they basically, the religious people in the government basically said, well, that's, God's way of taking care of the gays, basically. And they didn't do anything about it. They didn't acknowledge HIV. They didn't put any money into research. It took years. It wasn't until it started affecting heterosexual people that they eventually realized we have to deal with this. And by that time, it was out of control. And it's really shocking to find out what their response was like. And I'm really proud as an Australian to realize that we didn't do that. We got in very early. They got a lot of funding through. They worked with communities. They funded the community groups to manage themselves and speak to the members of the community themselves because there was a lot of distrust. When they first started the campaign, I think it was in 82 or 83, it was still illegal to be gay. It was still illegal to perform sex acts as a homosexual person. So people were scared to come forward to get tested because they didn't know if they'd be reported. It was so much more complicated and terrifying than I realized as someone who, I came after those crises. I'm like a post-HIV gay, like I'm a post-Priscilla gay. It's like it was a different era. We just started to get drugs for it. But it's still, when I first went into the scene, it was still something you were worried about. You had to use condoms and everyone was afraid of HIV. We all knew people who had it. But that first wave of people that all died was like not the generation before us, but it was before us. So I don't really know what it was like to live through that period. I have a sense of it, but it was really shocking, the speed that it hit and started killing people. People were dying in a matter of weeks, and it took a while for a response to come up, and the gay community's response was not the best. They didn't trust the government. They didn't believe. They thought this was their response to them trying to decriminalise gay sex, was to create this virus to scare everyone celibate, basically, or to shame and vilify us. And it was interesting because I didn't sort of realise a lot of elements of it that I didn't realise because obviously I wasn't there. It was a great show. It was only 4 episodes. It has a tragic ending, of course, and it was just really great. I was really surprised. I didn't know it came out last year, March 19th. I think it just missed Mardi Gras. I thought it must have come out before that for this year, but either way, that's how I watched it. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and watch In Your Blood. It's really good.